if you really put into your brain and put into your business and understand that the more reps that you have, the more experience that you have, the better you're going to understand the potential of every single opportunity that comes your way. Potential, potential, potential. I am telling you guys, this is the whole key to this business. You want to know the secret to really, really, really wealthy people? I'm talking about the people that actually went out there and earned it. All right? It comes down to this. It comes down to recognizing potential. Recognizing potential. I know that might sound like, well, what do you mean by that? Like potential inside myself, potential in a certain situation, potential in a business, potential in a piece of property. Yes, I'm talking about all of those things. But for us, for real estate entrepreneurs, I'm talking about the potential that we have with absolutely anybody that wants, let me say that again, wants to sell their house, their property, whatever it is, whether it's a piece of land, whether it's a house, whether it's a condo, townhouse, multifamily, whatever it is, what is the potential for that property? Because let's be honest, there are certain levels to this real estate game, right? Like you might look at a property and see that you can make $10,000, but somebody else in your marketplace that has years of experience and a lot of different buyers and a lot of different exit strategies could see way more profit in that same deal. I mean, I might look at a piece of land and think that, oh man, I can make $1 million on that. But Donald Bren, the biggest real estate investor in the country, billions, $14 billion, $15 billion as a real estate investor, he could look at it and see something that is worth, $100 million. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about understanding the potential of the leads that you are talking to. And I'm going to break this all down. I'm going to make this a lot more clear. But I'm telling you this, if you really put into your brain and put into your business and understand that the more reps that you have, the more experience that you have, the better you're going to understand the potential of every single opportunity that comes your way. Potential, potential, potential. I am telling you guys, this is the whole key to this business. This is the key to understand. This is the key from going from $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 a deal to 20, 50. 20, 30, 50. I made a big jump there. But, that is what it is. And it is understanding different exit strategies, and that comes with the experience. Or you leverage someone else's experience, right? That's what we do. That's what I do, right? Mentors, coaches, people in your marketplace that maybe you work for a little while, apprentice with, really get and understand and be able to lift the veil from your eyes and understand the true potential of every single person that you speak with that wants to sell. Now, remember, there's a distinction between wants to sell and needs to sell, right? There's plenty of people that need to sell that lose their houses every day, right? There has to be a owner that is ready to sign a purchase agreement. That's what we're looking for. So what happens, right? What happens when we're speaking with somebody and, they have a beautiful house. They have a beautiful house and they want a lot of money for it. So let's do this thought exercise because I think it's really, really, really important. And I'll tell you where to kind of put the guardrails on your strategy so that you're not scattered all over the place and your business kind of flows like this because you're too distracted with non-income producing activities. But check this out, okay? Let's say, they can hear me all right? Yep, okay, good. Let's say that you've got a perfect house and they want retail price. You're here, right? And I think that this is really interesting. I think that if you draw this on every single one of your leads, you're going to be able to discover what is a way, what are the ways that I can make income from this lead if they don't just want a cash as is offer, right? We love living here. This is where the big bucks are made, right? This is where we get the most, the biggest profits is when the price is low and the property is in rough shape. Now listen, right here is the perfect. You know, if it's in great shape and they want a low price for it, that's fantastic, but let's live in reality. Most of the time, the price is gonna reflect the condition, and that's what this line is. This is the condition of the property. You've got a perfect, beautiful, remodeled house, right? And then you have a property that is a hoarder house that has kind of goat paths throughout it because there's trash all the way from the ceiling, from the floor to the ceiling, right? So that's what we're looking at here. But what happens here? How do we make money in those situations where they don't want a cash as is discounted offer? When you're having these conversations and you ask somebody, would you consider an offer in your property? And they say, absolutely, right? And then you dig a little bit more, and then you got to find out, is this an actual lead? What is a lead? What is a lead? You want to know what a lead is? A lead is somebody that wants to sell, and this is so critical, and has a timeline. They have a timeline. They're going to sell. They're going to they're going to either put this on the market or sell it privately or whatever else, right? They are going to sell this property. They've made that decision. That is a lead. That's why when we say we are deal finders, not deal creators, because if people don't have a timeline, you're not going to force a timeline on them. You can shorten timelines, but they need to already be at that point of making that decision. It has to be concrete. I am going to transfer the title of this property to somebody else in a certain amount of time. That's a lead. Okay? That is a lead. So with that being said, now you know that these people are going to sell. How do you make money on the properties that are really good shape? Right? So you're here, you can't just lock it up and assign it. There's no meat on the bone. So what do? Well, a couple different strategies, right? Number one is if you have a real estate license, you could list it. Not saying it's the best plan, but you could. You could list that property, okay? If you have a real estate license, you can refer that deal to another agent, which we do, and you can get a referral fee. You can get a referral, right? That's where you live. You can get that referral fee. What if you don't have a license, which, by the way, I highly suggest that you get a license at some point in your business or hire somebody on your team that has a license so you can take advantage of the 35% that you can get as a referral fee, right? When you refer this to a real estate agent and they put it on the market and it sells and they get a commission, you get 30 to 35% for passing along somebody that would never accept a cash as is offer, right? They want to get full market value for these properties, and they should. This is 90 to 94% of the market lives in somewhere in this area, right? And we know that when we talk to 100 people, 200 people, 5 to 10% of those people that we talk to, if we're pulling the right lists, which is outlined on this channel. I mean, there's a ton of videos on pulling the right lists. But when you pull the right lists, or when you're doing your driving for dollars and you know these properties are in a distressed condition, you know that 5 to 10% of the people are an actual lead. They are going to sell. They're in that selling process, right? So when we're looking at the numbers, we go, okay, wait a second. So if it takes 200 people, if I have to talk to 200 people to get one deal, that means if 5 to 10% of those people want to sell, that means that that's anywhere from 10 to 20 of these people that I talk to. Out of the 200, there's potential to make income. It's beautiful, guys. By the way, we got Mike Mahoney back today. Rafael Cortez is at a mastermind. We got the OG in the seat, so it's going to be phenomenal.
So, Brent, what I got so far is the person's motivation and timeline.
Yes.
Says that I've got a lead for some kind of real estate deal,
yep.
Right? And then price and condition of the property tells you what kind of a deal.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. That's right. That's why whenever we're having a conversation, every conversation that we have, I don't care if you've never spoke to anybody about buying their property or about considering an offer, when you pre-qualify them, which you have to do or you're going to spin your wheels a lot and you're going to waste a lot of time, you qualify based on the 4 pillars: condition, timeline, motivation, price. Do we have a graphic for that? I don't remember if we do. Condition, timeline, motivation, price. I can't believe we don't. Let's make sure that we do. So when you're doing that, you find out, okay, they do have a timeline. This is a lead, but it's a beautiful property. They're going to list it. They want to list it, or it's a referral. What about creative financing? What about asking, listen, I can give you that price, but can I do it in pay? Can I give you payments? Right? Common language. Don't go too highbrow on, well, would you consider some sort of creative financing where I give you a down payment and you seller financing, blah, blah, over their head. Would you consider taking payments? So we got creative financing. Creative, right? Can you lock up a deal? Can you lock up a deal with creative terms, even if it's a beautiful house? It happens every single day. Every single day. Some people don't want to sell because they don't want to take the tax hit on the profits, and they'd rather lengthen that out. It happens every single day. So you can get creative with these deals, right?
So Brent, right there, what's happening is you're giving them price, but they're giving you terms, right? Okay.
Yeah, they're giving you price and terms, because whenever we're negotiating real estate, it comes down to either price or terms, right? Either price or terms, and understanding the potential of both of those. What's the potential with the price? What's the potential with the terms? Not only that, but let's say you're just getting started. Let's say, well, Brent, I need some income now. I need to fund this. I need to invest in my business. I need to replace my job. I need some money now. What if you locked up a deal with creative financing and then wholesaled that? What if you assigned that? What if you did a subject to on these properties, like Pace is the master of and talks about? What if you do something that is a little bit different than just let me get you money for your property right now? But if they want money for their property right now, list it and refer it, right? Or do something creative. I'm telling you, there's potential even with the most beautiful properties. What if they're kind of like right here on the scale? They want a good price, but it's not really the best condition, and it's a little bit too tight for it to be a wholesale, which you run into every single day. What can you do? Well, what people are doing now in major markets is they're selling to hedge funds. You can lock up a deal that's tight as a wholesale, but a hedge fund will pay 100 to 115% of the retail value. I'm not joking. We're doing it every week. But that's what we go back to, is the levels to this game are all based on recognizing potential. You don't know that you could sell this deal or do this deal unless you know what the hedge funds are looking for, right? Now listen, I want you to live in this area. I want you to love this area. I want you, if this is your first 12 months, I want you to go after ugly houses, big checks. I'll say it till, whatever, for eternity. I will say ugly houses, big checks, because this is how you really build the momentum in your business and really get a heavy, healthy bank account, right? But what happens with the leads that you don't? Now listen, if you're just getting started and you're focusing on getting these big checks here, right? Ugly houses, big checks. Why don't you squat up with people that know how to do this? Why don't you squat up with a real estate agent? What if a real estate agent, you don't have a license, but what if you start sending referrals to a real estate agent? What if they pay for all your marketing this year? What if they pay for your skip tracing and your dialer and batch leads and PropStream and Deal Machine? What if you did that? What if they did all of that for you for the whole year? What if you reduced your cost because you're giving them so many opportunities? That's incredible. I mean, we have so much potential on every single lead, but a lead is a lead when they have a timeline. Critical. There has to be a timeline. You have to pull that out. If you're to sell this home, where would you go to next? Ideally, when would you like the cash in your account? Ideally, when do you want to be done with this property so it's just completely off of your hands? Right? We typically close within 14 and 30 days. Would that work for you? No, it doesn't. I can't close until 2025. Well, what are we doing? Right? You want to understand the timeline, because that helps you understand, is this a lead or not a lead? And then from there, what is the potential? The more that you can build the experience or leverage the experience of a mentor, coach, or somebody that you work for, the more deals you're going to do, one, the volume, and the amount of money you're going to make is going to be bananas. It's going to be absolutely bananas because you're going to be able to pull something from where other people aren't seeing those opportunities, right? We're all going for this, and we should be. There's plenty of these to go around, and I'm not joking. There's plenty of ugly houses, big checks to go around and around and around and around. And I want you to focus on this because I want you to have big, juicy deals, big wins, right? Big influxes of cash. But when you run across these things, squad up with people that can help you. If you're focused on wholesaling, find somebody that does creative deals in your market. Find somebody that's a real estate agent in your market. Find somebody that is going to do some incredible things. You got hedge funds here in this area. You got some novation agreements. You can certainly get into those type of things. I'm not saying you, unless you want to add that so that you can recognize other opportunities, but if you're just getting rolling, start getting the money coming in. Focus. This is what I'm talking about when I said put the guardrails on. Focus on ugly houses, big checks, but naturally, because you're so proactive and you're having so many conversations with people and getting so many leads and opportunities that you can make money just by passing these deals off or locking them up in a creative situation and assigning those deals. Does that make sense? And then also building up your experience with hedge funds. Maybe somebody in town does great with hedge funds, so that you're finding these, you're sourcing these deals, giving it to them, they're giving it to the hedge funds, you get a slice of it, right? There's so many opportunities, so many opportunities. Every lead there is potential. But remember, stay focused, build a great squad that can help you out with all the other things, and keep going after ugly houses, big checks. But every lead, there is a potential to make some money, right? There is. There just is. So that's what I want you to really, really think about as during this show. These are the questions that I want to hear about. Recognizing potential. The more that you can recognize potential, it is unmistakable how that the more that you can recognize potential, the more money you're going to make. This is what really, really, really wealthy people do.
If you like that video, hit that subscribe button. We come out with new videos every single day. And if you want your questions answered, like you and I, one-on-one, make sure that you join us for the live show every single Wednesday. I will see you there.